on live. Look at that. Our first attendee. Hi guys. So this is a first for me logging into the Credo account, and I hope that you all can hear me fine and that this looks a-okay, because this is a new bathroom for me and new surroundings. If you had ever tuned in when I had my YouTube channel that I actually did on the regular, it was a totally different background, it was a different lighting setup. So welcome to my new home. I wonder if I'm going to read some of these messages. Oh, thanks guys, it looks beautiful. Okay, cool. I just realized maybe I should have done this vertically. Is it okay with you if it's horizontal like this? Let me know. Tell me. Love the bathroom, thank you. This bathroom needs some love, but it's going to get it soon. You know, I have to start this off by saying I hope you guys are breathing. I realize that I have not been doing some good deep breathing unless I'm in a yoga class or something online. So I want to kind of remember that today as we do a little tutorial, because it's not just about looking good on the outside. It never has been for me. It's all about feeling good. And we can do both. So let's do both today. Okay, let me just see if anybody has said anything about it being weird that we're horizontal. No. I've seen nothing. Okay, good. All right, so my name is Katey Denno, and I'm a makeup artist. And if you don't know me, but you know Credo, you'll see that we're like this. Where else do you want to go to get every single clean beauty product? Anything for your hair, for your skin, for your body, for all sorts of wellness things you can take by mouth. There's so many good things in that store, in all of their stores. Today, we're going to be looking at one of their newest additions to their shelf lineup, and it's a brand called Saint. And they introduced me to Saint recently, and you've probably seen me posting about it. I really like this line. So I'm a makeup artist, and I need products that actually are good on the red carpet, not just good when I'm standing there and I can do a quick touch up, but I put it on my clients and I say goodbye to them, and I hope that, you know, in 2 hours when photos begin, they're going to still look good. And so I can definitely say, I know a lot of makeup artists follow this Credo account, and a lot of makeup artists follow me and ask me, what should I have in my kit? This is a line that you should have in your kit for sure. I'm going to start by showing you their primer. We're going to do some skin perfecting. I need it. And for spring, some of these colors are spectacular. I mean, who doesn't want a color like this? This was the one that I wore in the photo that I posted this morning, and I got so many messages from you guys asking, can you just tell me what it is right now? And I'm sorry that I didn't respond, but I wanted to like build up the hype. They're really good shades. And really beautiful blush, like the perfect peachy pink shimmer. And I'm going to show you how I like connection. Sorry, I just said pause due to poor connection. Let's see. Oh, that red lip. Thanks. Yeah, that red lip is so fun. It's one of theirs. They have, I think there are 4 different really good reds. Blue red, orange red, kind of a middle of the road red, and more of a fuchsia red. If those two go together. Oh my God, I love those reds. I should have held my phone vertically because all these messages are coming in from you guys, and I can't read them sideways very well. The color that I just held up is Montreal. It's a tea rose, they're calling it, and that's what I'm going to put on. So, hey, what is in your eyes? On my eyes? Nothing. I have nothing on. Actually, absolutely nothing right now. So let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is their Angel Face Primer. It's an aloe vera based primer. What I really like about this, so a lot of you ask, do you use a primer on clients? Do you use a primer on yourself? Historically, I didn't, because a primer, most of the primers in the green beauty world were really kind of an oil, I would say, and I was already putting an oil on. So it wasn't, I would never suggest, yes, you need this primer, because I generally would say, okay, you need this skincare. And most of the primers in the green beauty world are skincare based. I think everything, I'm thinking through all the shelves, brands, and yeah, they are all skincare based. I'm just putting a teeny bit more. It feels so nice. It's really cooling. because it has aloe in it, it gives you that kind of like pore feeling where when you add the foundation on top, it's such a smooth, it mimics silicone so nicely, but with that aloe base, it really does make you feel like you're getting a bit of what is it called? Have you ever had one of those facials where afterwards your skin just feels more tight, and not tight in a bad way, like as if you put some egg whites on your face? Have you ever done that? The egg white mask. But it really does make pores feel or look tighter. It makes skin feel more firm. And then what it does for the way that foundation goes on is really great. Okay, so this is my shade. It's Linen. And a little goes a long way. It's really densely packed with pigment. And I'm using, I don't remember which brush this is. Sorry about that. I was thinking I was grabbing a Kyer Weiss brush. Let's just imagine that that's what this is. And then the Jenny Patinkin. Have you seen these yet? They're really good. The texture is fabulous. It doesn't pick up as much as the traditional hot pink ones. I won't say the name, which historically I have loved, which is good. It doesn't absorb that. It kind of, is that the right term? It deflects it. Like it picks it up, it presses it in, but it doesn't stay on here. It's such a good texture. It feels different than the pink ones. For sure, you have to try them. Okay, so I always start in the center of my face with foundation application because I don't ever want to see on anyone a perimeter rim of, even if it's the perfect shade, your exact right shade, it's still going to be quite obvious. So with foundation, whether it's on myself or on a client, I kind of stand back and assess, what am I covering? Do I need a full face? Am I going to redraw in contour? Am I going to let freckles show? Am I going to mess things up if I add too much foundation? And often the answer, in my opinion, is yes. It's all about a light foundation. I will go back and look at all of these questions afterwards so that I make sure I don't leave you all hanging. But for now, I'll just kind of plow through this and then come back. Okay, so, and you can ask your question at the end as well if I haven't gotten to you. So, okay, so starting in the center. So you can see the big difference. My mom asks me, does it really make a difference if I put on foundation? She's not a foundation wearer and never has been. And when I show her this, it's like quite apparent. I have a lot of sun damage, this big gnarly one it's not getting any better no matter what I do. And again, I'm not looking for a full coverage, like spackle kind of foundation here. I just want a more even skin tone. So can you tell? This is a really nice one. So I have a nice big red hurdy breakout right there. And a teeny little, I mean, you saw it was bare, it was like a third of a pea size, that's all. So it's what's in my brush still. And that's what I'm going to take to the outer portion, of my face. I have another breakout right there. I never in a million years thought that I would be talking in my bathroom to my phone, to all of you, about my breakouts when I was a kid. That was not something that I envisioned, but isn't it kind of cool that you can log in and I can log into other people and witness real life? Okay, so the teeniest little bit more, because I want to make sure that both sides of my face are done evenly. So I often will notice that obviously somebody started with a thick application of foundation on their brush on one side of their face. And then they didn't reapply to the other side, and then it's just a heavy, pretty opaque foundation side of one face, and like a nice sheer, thin layer on the other. Like, let's keep things as even. I mean, I am definitely one of the most asymmetrical featured people, but I want to make sure that as I'm adding makeup, it's balancing. So you saw I used hardly anything, but it gave me really good coverage. And unless you have like crazy redness on your nose, I generally really like to skip foundation on my nose. And it's not just because I like to have my freckles showing, but I like the texture of skin. And I feel like, I don't know where I read this years ago, but I really feel like it's true. When you walk up to someone and you greet them, your close friend, family member, you notice hair, sometimes forehead, eyes, nose, and mouth, right? you're not scrutinizing their skin generally. And so I always like to leave at least something on my face that has natural skin texture and make sure I blend really well. And this is it's like, it feels like a little cloud. And you barely need to do any pressing. It's more about like dabbing and rolling it. I really like this kind of coverage. So it's not, like I said, not terribly opaque, but if you need that opacity, go back in with your concealer, and they have really good concealers. So, which is super cool, because I have to say, in the world of green beauty, there have been some products that I think have been, formulators were trying to get there. And right now I really am into the concealers in a way that I never have been before. I've usually used mainstream concealers because I haven't been able to get that kind of coverage that I need and staying power that I need. But these are really good. So before all hell broke loose and we were confined to our homes, and not all of us, I want to just say this really quick. Thank you to all of those of you who are out there in emergency positions and serving the public and putting your lives at risk, and for those of us who are at home right now able to do this. I know I speak on behalf of a lot of people saying thank you for that. So right now I'm going to show you way back when, it's hard to even remember right now, when I was running around town in the morning putting makeup on. This is what I was using just because I wanted to test. So I've been using two different concealers, and this one is the Less Peach concealer, and it's called Linen. It's light, and I'll use it on any blemishes, any sunspots that I want to just ever so slightly fade. And yes, you can use your fingers. You can definitely use a brush if you prefer. My hands are very clean, too clean, like painfully clean, painfully clean. And you should know, if you don't, that Credo is still able to package things and send them out. They're doing that, of course, very safely. So you can order this stuff and receive it and play with it at home. And they say like makeup is recession proof, because we all want that kind of escapism makeup, is how I've been thinking of it lately. And when people have been writing to me and saying, can you do some crazy wild looks so I can practice along at home that I would never normally do or have time to do in my real going out everyday life, I think there's something so magical about makeup. So this is the more peach option, and it's called Peach Light, and they have the two shades available in a variety of skin tones. So I always suggest that, I know most makeup artists are already abiding by this, but anything under the eye, no matter your skin tone, should have some sort of an oranginess to it. So on women of very rich, deep, dark color, I use often straight up orange pigment under their eyes. And then I'll go on top with their perfect skin color foundation. And so the same holds true all the way through the color spectrum of skin tone. And so this is a light peach, and it cancels the purple. Look at that. I look like I've slept. It cancels the purple under the eyes. You guys, I'm missing all of these great messages. Yes, thank you to all of our healthcare workers. Yeah, it's such a beautiful texture. It looks like skin. It does. It's perfect. And I think that this is actually, I hope you see me as clearly as I've been watching others on Insta Lives lately, and I see their everything so clearly. It's amazing. Look at that. It's really good coverage. And so what I was saying was, going out into the world, I guess Credo sent this lineup to me just before we were on lockdown, so maybe 3 weeks ago, and I wore these products every day, and every day people asked, what are you wearing? And I used this concealer on a client, and she loved it, and it looked great in photos, and it lasted. This is the thing. This is like upping the ante. Okay, so now that we have that on, I always go next to eyes, and the only thing that I'm going to do here, I'm going to stray a bit as far as products from Saint, and I'm just going to show you a mascara that is not from Saint. If you know me, you know that I'm obsessed with eyelashes, so I cannot let this tutorial go without So you know my whole technique, if you watch me on my YouTube channel, of you grasp lashes at the root and then you pull out ever so slightly and turn your wrist whichever side of your nose you're on so that you get those outer lashes up higher. Once you put mascara on, it begins to make them come down a bit, but that at least gets them a little bit up higher and gives you, rather than like a sad outer turned fan of eyelashes, because it kind of, to me, reminds me of like a sad face surrounding your eye. This makes it just kind of a straight up and in a bit fan, which I think is so pretty on all eye shapes. It is a fancy curler, right? It's from Tarte. Not sold at Credo. But there are lots of great alternatives. Okay, so this is the mascara from Ilia, and Ilia's creator, Sasha Plazvik, is a longtime friend of mine, and I wrote to her the other day, and I was like, hey, would you send me some of the new line? And she said, we've been sending it to you. What are you talking about? It's not the new line, but the newly packaged line. And she said, we've been sending it to you. What are you talking about? And I realized that I had forgotten to update her with my new address. So this is the old packaging for the mascara, but the formula has not changed. And I apologize. I should have had my boyfriend sit in here with me and read all of your comments. That's what I'm going to do next time, because I feel like I'm missing out on the party. I am obsessed with eyelashes, and I don't know if any of you take this long to put on your mascara, but I'm definitely not done yet. Because as a redhead with almost no color to my eyelashes, it's the first thing that I was allowed to do that made my eyes look like everyone else's. And I feel like it finally gave me that definition that I always wanted. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to do any real eye makeup, but I am going to finish this look by putting their blush, Saint's blush, on my eyes, because it is such a great color. It's like one of those peachy pinks that looks so great on a lot of skin tones, and it has gold flecks in it, which will look good around most eye colors as well. Let's just say all eye colors. I like it particularly, well, I shouldn't say that. I like it around all eye colors, anything with gold. That whole idea of you can only wear gold if you have you heard this? Like, look at the insides of your wrists, and if your veins are more cool tone, then you should wear silver, and if your veins are more warm tone, you can wear gold. I say that is so not true. A, you wear whatever you are attracted to, and then B, like, it's all about what else is going on. Like, if your hair color is one color this year and next year you change it slightly, it's going to affect what color you want to wear for makeup. If you have a tan, if you are more pale, if you are wearing a black shirt as opposed to a white shirt or a cream colored shirt, all those things, right? Okay, so, and then I'm not done with my eyelashes yet. That's my first round, but back to everything else, Saint. Okay, so then here's the blush that I was talking about. And I'm going to be using, I love these new brushes, Vapor just came out with them. I'm going to use, this is Pink Sunset. Can you see the flecks of gold? Super pretty. And these brushes are extremely soft and fan very nicely. And because you want to not do a super disruptive swiping, because you don't want your foundation to be like that, it's just really slight and sheer, but yet of course you can build up. You don't want it to disturb your perfect application of foundation. Because I have a lot of sun damage in this area, I definitely don't want to disturb my foundation, because that's the main reason why I put it on, was to cover that up. So I'm all about building layers of color on your cheeks. I'm so glad you love it. This is so fun. You guys, I stepped away from my YouTube channel a bit, and for quite a while now. And then Instagram Live happened. And so I never did makeup on Instagram Live like this before. It's so fun. Okay, one thing that I always do in between, I feel like, didn't that just wake my face up? Completely different, is take again, this is slightly damp. I wish I had in front of me what they look like when they haven't been wet, but they're much smaller and more compact. When you wet it, squeeze it as the water's running over it. Do this to allow the water to enter. And once you turn the water off, squeeze it out, and then squeeze it in a towel. I'll show you my towel that I use. This is my towel. I wash it, of course. Usually every couple days it goes in the wash. But this, instead of using a tissue or toilet paper every time you need to either try on a new lipstick or whatever, like, use this. No waste, no waste. This, I think, is gonna last me, I don't know how many years. Okay, so that, I made it seamless by making sure that there are no sharp edges, no hard lines, no streaks. I love that. Okay, so then, in addition, I'm gonna take the same color on the tip of the brush and put it on my eyes. So, like this. Super easy. This is the kind of makeup where people are like, I don't know how to do makeup. How do I put eyeshadow on? It's much easier than you think. Unless you're doing, and I watched with my mouth open, like, people who are amazing makeup artists and are doing like a 6-step eye. I really admire that. And I definitely have done it on others, never on myself. It's just not my look. But if it is yours, please send me pictures of it and step-by-step how-tos. But for my kind of looks, this is super simple and easy. And then, because I kind of want, this is a springtime look, and so I want a little bit more of a bronzy, a kissed by the sun. By no means like crazy bronzer, but just slightly. I'm going to use, do you know this line, Han? I really like it a lot, and I'm using the Vapor Big Fluffy Brush. Now, bronzer. A lot of you have asked me lately about bronzer, which makes me think that you're tired of the winter and as pasty as I. And bronzers come in the whole skin tone shade spectrum, and so any shade that you need, you can find. And a lot of times I suggest that people will use either a foundation that's 2 shades darker than your skin, or a powder foundation, a liquid foundation that's 2 shades darker than your skin, or a powder foundation, and you can just swipe that on. If you can't find your perfect bronzer shade, or you don't like shimmer, and all of them that you're finding have shimmer, Han does not, or this one from Han does not, and this is their Malibu bronzer, you can definitely just use a foundation. So I like to get it close, if not into the hairline, and then just buff it down onto the forehead. Now, for every face shape is going to be different. But the rule of thumb for me is back when you would get sun on your face, and if you're a youngin' and never did, I'm glad you love Han too. Right, it's so natural looking. It's and it is in real life too. This is what's crucial to me. I'm never going to do a makeup look that I'm going to show you on my YouTube channel or on an Instagram Live that doesn't look natural, because I cannot stand to go out in the real world and see a face. I mean, I love makeup. I love seeing people, their amazing artistry on their faces, but if we step into the sunshine and I see the cake on your face, or the unintentional, sometimes, people do really cool streaky things that are intentional, but if it's not intentional, like, I'm going to want to buff that out. So that's how I'm going to teach you to make sure that you've got all of that buffing done before you leave the house. So a little bit under the cheekbone in the back for me is great, and then a little bit, not too much here, because you don't want anything dark here as you age. I mean, maybe you do. There's no hard, fast rules ever, but you don't, if you put dark anywhere on a face, if you think about painting, lights, an application of anything lighter than your skin tone is going to make the viewer witness that part as coming forward, right? So that's why we put highlighter on here, because we want our cheekbones to look like they're coming towards you. If you have a bridge of your nose that you feel like, I want to accentuate that, I generally don't, but I do it on almost all of my clients. If like in the middle of the eyelids and the inner corners, you want to, like, that's the part that the light hits. So you accentuate that. So Anything that's a bit darker, you don't want, whoops, I'm picking up the wrong thing. You don't want the darkness to do what it does, recede in any parts on your face that you, as we age, they begin to recede anyway. So this is an area, the temples, that begins to get a little bit concave as we get older. And when I look at photos, even videos of myself 2 years ago from my YouTube channel, I'm like, oh yeah. So I keep it to this area. A very light amount, because you know I didn't load up my brush too much, can go in this area. But rule of thumb is, for bronzer, it's where it goes where the sun would cascade down your face and kiss you if you were to lay out, right? So maybe a little here as well, just a touch. And then a touch here. And then one place, because often, no matter if it's summer and we've been outside or it's the dead of winter, we generally have a patch of skin here that has no color, because our face, our jawline, or everything protects this area from sun touching it. So you definitely want to look there and see if that's the case for you, and then do that. And then also, because no makeup artist job stops there, if you're wearing a shirt that is open, you might want to take a little down into here. Try not to get it on your clothes. Makeup artist's biggest mistake. And then on top of that, I'm going to, using the same brush, I'm going to take that same Pink Sunset blush and just give it to myself kind of on the outer part of my apples. I haven't even gotten to the lipstick yet. I just realized that I forgot maybe we had a time limit on here. I don't know. So the lipstick that I was very excited about to show you tonight, because it's a unique shade, is Montreal, and it's a tea rose. So is what they're calling it. So here it is. Can you see that shade? I guess it doesn't really, in this, when I'm looking at it in my screen, it doesn't look as amazing as it does in real life. And that might be because I have a big light in front of me that's kind of blasting some of the tones out. But I love this shade so much. It's like the epitome of springtime to me. My lips are asymmetrical, as most people's are. So in the video, the very quick video that I posted of myself this morning smiling at you wearing this lip, I way overdrew my lips. Please go back and look at my page and see how much I overdrew them. In real life, I felt like I look like a clown. I hardly ever overdraw my lips, but I do it on my clients all the time, and I overdraw, I make them more even. But I think for this, I'm not going to overdraw them much, ever so slightly. Unless you don't want your lips to appear larger than they are, lucky you for having large lips. I always say to take it just to the edge. And because we're not doing a lip liner or anything, I like to kind of ever so slightly tap the edge and make it into a bit of a blur. So pretty, right? Especially with the bronzer. I think it's so good. Okay, then, if you've ever watched any of my other YouTubes or seen my Instagram channel, you see that I always do this. I always add one final thing on my cheeks that match my lips. And so I'm taking what was on my lips when I just did that, and I'm adding a little RMS. This is her quad, her Living Luminizer quad, and all of these shades are great, but for me, I'm gonna take this one, and I have a feeling that the names on the back might be wrong, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the sticker's on backwards or something. Anyway, I'm gonna take the luminizer on one finger, and I have this on the other finger, and I'm going to ever so slightly in little circles with the lip color. What do you think? It just like woke up my face ever so slightly. And don't worry, I'm going to go back over it with the blender. And then I'm taking the RMS, giving myself just a touch, and then using a clean finger to really smooth it in. And I've had a lot of people ask me, you can put cream over powder? Yeah, totally. I don't know why it ever became a thing that you couldn't. powder over cream can be difficult because like directly applied or in short order of application can be difficult, because then that's when you get streaks. But if you've waited a minute and you feel like you've pressed in the first product, you can totally put the second one on top. So then I'm going back to, this is why these are so important, back to this. And of course I'm taking forever doing all this, but if this was the morning and you just happened to be a fly on the wall watching me do this, it's a very quick, very methodical, but very quick application process. And there we have it. That, thank you for loving the eyes. Yeah, I mean, such a simple look. And then if you like gloss, I think my days of gloss, of like gooey, gloppy gloss, are behind me, but I wanted to show you gloss from Saint because it's really good. So first I'm going to show it to you over this just for fun. So this is a color, it's called Manhattan Red. Just because makeup artists love to mix, and I really like the idea of pinks and reds mixed together. I like oranges and fuchsias mixed together, pinks and reds. Takes on a totally different tone. What do you think? I see a lot of hearts. Yeah, all of this is from Saint. These are from Saint. The only things that weren't from Saint were the RMS Living Luminizer Quad, and then the bronzer from Han. Oh, and then I lied also, the mascara, which comes down in a different color tube, I think, from Ilia. And the brushes from Vapor. So that, I love that combo. Let me just show you what the gloss looks like if you don't have a lip color underneath it. It's nicely pigmented, but it's not like crazy. And it also tastes good. It doesn't really have much of a taste, you know. That's often for me why I've not been a huge fan of lip gloss. I don't want that a gnarly taste with me all day. And also my hair gets stuck in it, but not these. It's like a different time in lip gloss than it was back when I used to wear it. Look how pretty that is. Isn't it good? Thanks, I'm so glad you like it. And then, because it's so densely packed with pigment, if you just love this color and you wanted it to be less glossy, I know, I love all this. Love that color, me too, me too. Okay, so you would just take either your finger, clean finger, or a tissue, or if you happen to have, I think this is like a piece of art, right? My boyfriend probably doesn't think this when he sees it in the bathroom. You can just blot off some of the extra emollients and you're just left with this great color. Okay, before we say goodbye, I don't want to say goodbye. Before we say goodbye, thank you for that. That's sweet. Pretty skin, pretty hair. So people are always like, well, how do you know if it's not a great color for you? So you saw the colors that I chose, of course. They were good colors for me, right? But this color, I love this color, but on me, it's not great. So I want to show you. Let me see if I can get what I have on my lips off a little bit more, because it will for sure influence. Now this color would be amazing on so many people, but on me, it is not. And this is what finding your right color is all about, is trying whatever you're attracted to. I'm also trying to overdraw and make them symmetrical, because otherwise I just look like I have a skinny little dark line for a top lip. I did not do a great job. I need a lip liner pencil. Anyway, see what I mean? It's all about finding the color or blend of colors that works for you, which is why it's nice to have a lip color wardrobe, have a few different colors that allow you to mix and match. One day you feel like I need a solid orange red. The next day your outfit does not lend itself to that, so you mix it with your fuchsia and you get a totally different color that everyone's going to say, where did you get that? What shade is it? And you're going to be like, I'm a makeup artist, I made it myself. So believe that you can wear pretty much any color. So if you have a shade in the back of your drawer that you haven't worn because you bought it and it's just not right, practice mixing. Mix it on your lips, mix it in your hand, mix it on a little palette and keep it, because you might make a color that you totally love. Oh, my lips feel dry now. Here, I'll show you one more from Saint. This one is called Cosmorita. Cosmorita. I'm guessing that must have some inside meaning that I'm not aware of. Saint. Okay, check this out. So obviously my lips are quite stained right now. Not my best look, right? Exactly. I generally don't go lighter than my actual lip color either. But let's see how this works. And again, my lips were stained from that color that's not so great on me. So this is not 100% true. And also, it is very true that every color will look slightly different on everyone. So if your mom gives you her lipstick and you're like, why doesn't it look as good on me as it did on her? The undertone. Everyone's skin brings its own warmth or cool or dark or light, and it influences the way that the color will read that you put on top of it. What do you think? It's a nice one too, huh? And now my lips feel so nice and moisturized. And I'm gonna go, maybe, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna go out. Oh, let's do this. So, what are some questions? Let me see if I can take this out and see some of your questions. Let's see. Starting at the top. Oh no, this might not have been smart. Okay, let's see. Some questions are, you guys, oh, there's so many lovey things. Thank you for all this. P.S. Fix it. I don't know what that meant. Breathing is so important. I keep forgetting to. Yes, it's so important. What is my favorite under eye concealer? I love this one. I really love. I think you should try this. They have, like I said, the peachiness, which is exactly what we need, peach and also slight orange tones. And then the ones that are great for any blemishes on the skin that just need to match your skin. Oh, thank you for saying that red lip looks so good. Let's see. What do I recommend for breakouts? That's a whole nother 10 videos, and I promise you I will share all of that with you. I think there might be some videos on my YouTube channel about that. And I suffer from mad breakouts. I happen to be in a really good place right now, but I wasn't 2 weeks ago, and now I have some really crazy scars. But I love that all of you are saying such nice things. And yes, hi Joshua. Yeah, the new Jenny Patinkin, it's such a good brush, or such a good puff. Yeah, I love that so many of you have said, need, can't wait, need. Oh, hi. Let's see. What else? Is anybody, I know I keep seeing so many other ones coming in. Oh, all of you want breakout conversation. Okay, we need to do breakout stuff. Oh, you guys, this is so sweet. Yes, so happy we can still order products during the quarantine. Me too, big time. And how have you guys been welcoming things into your home? I have been taking things out of the box that they arrive in, either with or without gloves on, not touching anything else, and then spraying everything down with alcohol and letting it all sit out on a towel that I then wash. I think it's important. Hi, all of you. Sad outer turner. I know, it's funny how I describe I love that somebody wrote matey. Matey, that's what my phone always corrects my name too. Ahoy, matey. When I was in 7th grade, I ran for high school president, or for class president, and I ran for some reason on the platform of a pirate. I made all the artwork a pirate. Ahoy, matey, vote for Katey was my slogan. Lazy mommy, you say from where? What do you mean from where? This is Credo, right? Saint, I'm not sure what you mean from there. Is there a cancer using the lash curler if you have a thyroid disease? I don't know what that means. You can write it again if you're still watching. I'm not sure what that means. Is there a cancer? Any tips on making mascara not run onto the face after a while of wearing it? Okay, so that's one of my biggest beefs with every single mascara, not just the Green Beauty ones, but most mascaras do that. So there's a few things that you can watch out for. And I really like the Ely one because I think it's the least likely to transfer. If you're still watching, LVN Dallas, let me know if you've had that happen with this one, but for the most part, this is the one that I use. Otherwise, I use mainstream ones, not because I don't want to support the Green Beauty brands, but because at work, I just can't afford to have anything run. And so it makes sense. This is the big thing that I say. So let's say I'm going to use this as my stand-in, as if this were a face oil. I love this. It's from a brand called Saint Jane, and not the same Saint, but it's a really nice body oil, and it happens to be sitting on my bathroom vanity right now. But if this were my face oil, and they do make a face oil, putting that on, essentially, so you have some under your eyes, right? And then you put your mascara on, and with every blink, your mascara lashes touch that oil that's still somewhat sitting on top of your skin, and that oil does what makeup remover oil does. It begins to grab onto the molecules of pigment and all the other things that the product that mascara is made of, and transfer it to adhere to it to your skin. So if you are like constantly having this problem, I would say to not put it under the eye, not put moisturizer under the eye, and then the lashes, as they touch, don't have anything to hold on to other than our own natural sebum that we produce, but you don't produce that much right under your eyes. So that's my first tip. My second tip is curl the hell out of your eyelashes. Get them up so that they don't have that much of a chance to touch. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I feel like mine are more spare now. Lashes at 56, definitely we begin to lose hair. I definitely have far fewer eyelashes than I did even 2 years ago. I'm joining late. What brand are you sharing? Saint. Sorry, I didn't tell you. Yeah, Saint. Oh, thanks, Alexandra, for telling, and Josh. Oh, you guys are so good. How will that look on deeper complexions? Which, gosh, I should have paid attention during this. All of this stuff can be worn by anybody. It depends on what your complexion is. I mean, that's why I said like mixing, because if you do get this, it really could look amazing on a woman who's super deep complexioned with warm undertones. It would look amazing, and it could also look super cool on someone with super deep dark skin with cool undertones. It just depends on the exact tone of their skin, what level shade they are. Or do they have super dark hair? Are they bleaching their hair? I wish I could tell you better on here. But you can pop into any Credo once they reopen. And for now, you can also log on. The Credo staff are amazing, and they are available by chat. So just go to the website and chat. They are such experts in all of this, and they have hands-on experience with all these products on the daily that they get from using them on people of all skin tones. So please know you have that as an option. Where do you start blush on the cheeks? That's a good question. You're not going to like this answer. It depends. It depends on what your face shape is. And it also depends on what look you like. Some people like just a concerted little circle of color right there. Some people like a wash up to up the cheekbone to the ear. I tend to err on the side of, let's say you stand back, look in the mirror. When you've been exercising, what gets flushed? Where is the deepest spot of rosiness that shows up? And for women of deep dark skin tones who like to wear blush, there are so many of you who do, you can, kind of fudge it, like the middle of the apple of the cheek, if you don't get flushed, I'm saying, so you kind of just have to guess, is where you want to start that application. So for me, it's like the meatiest part, and the meatiness from my face has definitely gone south as I've gotten older as well, so it's changed. But generally I will start, this can be kind of like the rule of thumb, start the application, the tip of the brush can go right there, and then you kind of just go in little concentric circles around. It's a good question. Yes, this is a good blush, and it is long wearing. All of these products, the formulations are really long wearing. Let's see what else. Anybody have any last minute questions? Oh, for people with rosacea and naturally red face, do you recommend blush? Such a good question. And again, it depends. I'm sorry. Well, it depends. If you love blush, yes, I recommend blush. I recommend you finding a color that works with your rosacea, because rosacea tends to be a shade of red that you don't have. It's not going to be like your skin tone. So it's not like, okay, tend to look better in peachier blush. But when you have that, like if you were wearing foundation, right, and you concealed all of that redness, you might err on the side, you might reach for a peachy blush because that goes with the rest of you. It goes with your hair, it goes with your eyes, it goes with your skin tone when the rosacea is masked. But if you're not masking that and you want to put on a cream blush, you might reach for something that's a really sheer tone. That you might reach for this because it has a lot of emollients. It's the RMS Living Luminizer palette. There's a lot of emollients, soothing emollients, and it won't, if you have any of the crustiness from rosacea or any sensitivity, it might be quelling a bit and not look like it's just sitting on top of it, whereas a powder might. So I would say if you are going for the foundation look, you have every option that anybody else has. But if you're not doing foundation, and it depends on where your rosacea affects, mostly it's like here, maybe around the mouth. It just really depends on how bad your flare-up is that day. And if you have like this amazing new blush that's like hot pink and you want to wear it. Just wear it. Let's see. What brand is lipstick? All of these lip products are from Saint. Let's see. What is the formula? The formula and finish. I love that Swatched LA that you're watching. The formula. Well, it's a, what do they call it? Do they call it a semi? It's a satin, I would say. It's definitely not a matte. It's a long wear satin, which is kind of new in the green beauty world. It feels good on. And a lot of the matte formulas, to me, have not been wonderful to feel, feeling. Let's see, anything else? I missed the foundation. Was it powder or liquid? It's liquid, it's this. And then I put it on top of this. Oh, Beauty by Benz, thank you for answering. Hi, Benz. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you for saying I look gorgeous with both colors. Okay, if you have, oh my gosh, there's so many more questions. But I love that the Credo team has answered most of them. And yeah, I love that a few of you have said Credo is my favorite store. My Credo order arrived today and I'm so excited. Banana, awesome. Please put the products on and take pictures of yourself and send them in. You guys, this has been a lot of fun for me and a real break from the monotony of just me and my man in the house. I will look forward to seeing you again and know that I'm working on making a bunch of videos with a bunch of other products for you that will be up soon.